Yamsketch.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Yamslayer and you're watching Yamsketch. Last time we were working on our scared hippie character, and this is our character series where we're looking at how to design characters for your stories, for games, comics, for whatever, for animation, and then go from there into using those characters. So first step is looking at shape and silhouette and the personality of the character. So with this guy, we decided that going for a little bit of a lankier look here with the arms and legs and stuff, making him a little spindly was going to work best. So let's move on with this guy. We've got our character reference here for his body shape, for his silhouette. And what we want to do now is sort of start to flesh this out. So we have the basic proportions of this character, but no details. So we need a couple of things, right? He's a hippie. So let's put some of those things, and maybe they're stereotypes, but in this case it's a character, so those are good. So it's a hippie, so let's see. We got hippie, right? What makes a hippie? I'm gonna say sandals, yeah. Jeans, tight jeans, tight jeans, tight skinny jeans. Come on guys, all right. Tight skinny jeans, sandals. We're gonna need some sunglasses or something like that, maybe. Well, that's more like hipster than hippie, but no, we'll play with that. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. We're gonna do t-shirt, polo. I'm thinking more t-shirt. We could go for the lumberjack, Pacific Northwest style, flannels and all. Yeah, let's go for flannels. Why not, right? I might have spelt that wrong. You can send me all the hate you want if I did. So that's pretty basic actually. And then for hair, it's going to be sort of like a neat cut hair. And then maybe I don't know. Hipster would have a watch. Hippie, probably not. So I don't know. We'll check this out. So anyway, let's start to kind of flesh some of this out. So we still have our basic character here. But let's start to think about this. We want to have some jeans. So those are going to be skinny and tight. So honestly, this isn't going to change much. We'll just add some little jean wrinkles, add a belt. Here we go. There's a belt, right? Come down here with the legs. At the knee, we'll add a little wrinkle. And then down below, if it was a 70s hippie, again, we could go bell bottoms. But for now, let's just give it a little wrinkle down at the bottom, call it a day. All right, now sandals. I want to go out here, and feet are fun to design because they're in sandals. We can draw the toes, but let's just keep it simple for now. So let's give them some flip-flops. See, yeah, like that. There we go. So okay, so I'm gonna keep them simple for now. You can give them like toe hair and stuff later, but remember, go from the biggest to the smallest. So start with this main silhouette and the design and the big shapes, then add some more, then add some more, then add some more. So don't get in there and start drawing eyelashes. You're just gonna waste time because you want to get the character down first before you start icing the. You want to bake the cake before you start icing the cake, and you want to build the house before you paint the house. I could come up with some more metaphors and analogies for you guys. But it's basically like that. Just work from broad to more specific, and then you won't run into that problem where you spent an hour on a perfect eyeball and then you backed up from the paper and you're like, oh, it's hideous. It doesn't fit in the head. That's a pretty common problem, losing the forest for the trees. And the way to avoid it is to work this way. Work really loose and fast and big and small, and then go into details. So now you can see this is the same as this, but we got a little bit more detail, and now you can see, oh, there's a lot of character in that, even though, this is what I use. I just copied that and then added a little bit more detail. So now we got pretty hippie looking bottom half. All right, now for his upper half, he's gonna have a t-shirt. So is the t-shirt gonna be tucked in here? It's a nervous guy, so maybe he's a tucker. Could be, could be. Or maybe it just hangs loose. It's someone who doesn't care about their appearance as much, is a little socially awkward. That's fine too. I'm going to go for the tuck just because I think that's so funny. So like tuck lines, and then there'll be like a t-shirt that gets tucked in there. And then we said flannel, right? So so the flannel will go over the t-shirt. But so let's draw that t-shirt first. So we come up here, there we go, we got a little t-shirt neck, and then let's go for like a tiny little thin neck. And let's see. So this head is big on top. That's the basic shape, and then small on bottom, right? So basically like this. Now, when you look at the basic shape, what you want to do when you think about the details is, you're not just tracing the outline of this. Like, that's not the point. This was just to give us the basic shape. So heads can really be anything that you want them to be. There's so much detail that can go into a head. There's so much variety in the human face, and then if this character was an animal, even more variety, that like you could just draw any shape and you'll get something that looks like a face, right? Like here's like a weird kabuki guy, and I wasn't even thinking when I drew this. Whoa, the white lion. Okay, so the point in that goofy little drawing there was that you can do anything you want with a head. You can make a nose look like this, and you can pull that off, like a big angry Roman brow kind of thing, right? You can pull that off. Roar. You've seen characters like that. You could draw a nose like this, and you could pull that off, right? That could be like I don't know, like an anime face, kind of a face. Right? Yay. All right, you could draw like a little pug nose, and draw like a cute little kid and go like that route, right? The point is that there's like infinite flexibility to this stuff, but when it comes to the face, you have a lot of chance to an opportunity to add like the character, because you're going to look at their face a lot. That's just what we do as humans. So since this guy's like a scaredy cat hippie and scared of cats hippie, I want him to kind of look a little bit worried. So before I draw all those little details in this tiny version, I'm actually going to break this out and design the face on its own, because the face is its own character in a way. And then we're going to take all those details and I'll just pop them back in here. The reason I'm saying that is because we're going to leave that for now. We know that the basic shape is this, and we're going to leave that, and then we're going to design the head and then pop it back on. Okay. So for now, let's just finish his body. So he's got the t-shirt version, and then there's probably, here's the t-shirt version, and then you can do the flannel version. So here he is with t-shirt version, and then let's get those arms. They're like all the way down here, like super lanky arms. So let's go all the way down. They start there, they come out of the shirt, they go all the way down. So I'm gonna give him, just the noodles. So he's got, his wrists are like to here. So there's his wrist, and then to there. So here we go. That's nice. All right. And then again, like, don't worry so much about drawing through and stuff like that. See, like here where I drew through. The reason that I'm drawing is because I want to know where things connect, and I want to understand the anatomy. I don't want to lose that. So don't worry about this. Again, like, you can just get another layer and trace over this once you have it the way you want it. You're designing. So like, don't worry about that stuff. You can also get an eraser and erase it and stuff like that. So just draw through the character. Don't be afraid. Like, there's lines here, they're left over. Like, it's not a big deal. People, sometimes I see people get a little bit caught up in things, like well before they should be caught up in those things. So, anyway, so let's give him these little tiny hands. He's got like his little thumbs here, and then little fingers. Dun, 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 dun. And again, we can flesh out in even more detail exactly how the hands look and the fingers look later. Right now, I just want to get one layer deeper than this. So level 1, level 2, and then we'll do a more finished drawing. All right. So I like where he's going. He's got that look of being sort of like, scared and timid and a little bit like weak. I think this shirt got a little bit wide, so I think I'll come in with this, and then it'll sort of puff out where it's tucked. So kind of like that a little bit more. Good, because I don't want him I don't want to get to where he starts looking strong. He's not a strong character. He's a weak character. So, all right, so cool. This shirt can have like a collar thing. And then this is also a good chance when you're drawing a character, like what kind of shirt would this guy wear, right? Like what brand would he wear? What would he wear a shirt that has a duck on it? Like quack, right? Would he wear that? Is that a thing that he would wear? Or would he wear something that has like a heart on it, but the heart is sad, right? So like come up with things like that, and that'll help you out too, because you'll start to get aesthetic for the character in terms of like their fashion sense and all that stuff, which is great because then when you want to have more than one outfit for your character, it's easy to choose, you know, what to draw next instead of just, you know, always having them be in the same outfit every time. So, all right, so that's one way to approach this. I'm going to leave that. So there's our character. He's done for now, and we're going to design the head and then put it back on him. And then we'll also put him in flannels. But for now, I'm just going to leave him in a t-shirt. Okay, so here's the thing about the head. Let's move that over and give us some space. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. So here's the thing about the head. Zoom in. We have our basic shapes. Big circle on top. Small circle on the bottom. We want to give him a beard. We may or may not want to give him glasses. We're going to give him a haircut. Right now this looks a little bit monkeyish, and I don't want him to look like a monkey. I just want him to look like, you know, he's got like a weak chin. So there's a ton of ways that I could play with this. So I'm going to draw the same shape a couple of times so that I can just give myself a real big palette for just creating a couple of quick variations. I'm just going to give, there we go, there's 4 of the same head. So in this one, I'm going to put the ears really low. And I'm going to draw the face around and just kind of come up with a little chin here. There we go. All right, good, done. So there's one. That's kind of like a baby head, right? Or a monkey head. In this one, I'm using the same base, but I'm gonna go a different way. I'm gonna put the ears high. Okay, so I'm gonna give them this kind of thing. And then instead of making this area be like a weak, you know, like a chin, I'm gonna come like bring it back like in a straight line and come back here and then do like a jaw. I don't want the jaw to be too strong, so I'm just gonna go like that. There we go. So this is another look, right? Same base, different look. All right. So then on this one, I want to kind of continue playing with that. So in this one, I'm going to give him a beard, and it's going to be the beard is the reason why this shape happens, right? This beard is kind of the reason that the shape happens. He's got a little mustache as well. There we go, and he's got his lips down here. Boom, there you go. And then because of that, this is actually like more of a cheekbone, right? And then there's his head, so his ears are probably around here, and his eyes are going to be there, right? And then this is also like this is cheekbone, right? And then there's the jaw, which is, let's do that, and then that. Well, again, weak jaw. No, too weak. There we go, perfect. So, all right, so that's 1, that's 2, that's 3. Now you see how even though these are the same base, they're pretty wildly different, and that's the point. Like, you want to work big to small. So here we had the basic idea. Here we kept that idea just as a placeholder, and then here we're actually exploring that idea. So once we decide what's the best way to go with this, we'll come back, right? We'll come back and pop one of these heads onto here. So for this last one, what do you guys want to do? I don't know. Let's go something like a really weak chin. So let's go like here, and yeah, and then like a little pointy chin that's really weak, and then just kind of rolls down. And this will have like a high cheekbone up here, and then in it goes. So the cheek is like there, or yeah, maybe there. And then you know, again, I don't want a strong jaw like that because this is a weak character, so I'm just going to have this jaw sort of fade in there, and then put some big ears. That's good. I love it. All right, look at those giant ears. Okay, and then we'll come up here with the head. So that's another new one. That's something different too, and different than this one. So, all right, so let's draw a center line down these faces, just so we know basically where the face goes. And then I'm drawing a center line this way. Now I'm saying center line, but I'm not, again, these are caricatures, so even though the center might usually be here, right, I can play with that. I can move that center line down or up, you know, to emphasize certain things. So big forehead, move the eyes down, right? Big chin, big jaw, move the eyes up, right? So now we got a big long jaw. If I come down here and do the same thing, now we got a big baby head or an alien head or whatever, right? So play with these proportions and be free with that, because that's where you get character, is where you push in and exaggerating and doing all that stuff. That's where you get character. So again, I could give this guy a strong Roman nose, but I'm not going to do that because this guy's all shy, right? So like instead of a nose like that, like maybe it's like a scoop nose, right? Or maybe it's like a little button nose, or that was just like a soft nose, or maybe it's like a little button nose, although that makes this one really look like a baby. Or maybe it's you know, just like a flat nose with a hook. You know, maybe it's that kind of nose. Like, that's kind of cool. I'm gonna stick with that. This guy is gonna get more of a scoop nose, and then he's gonna get a little bit more nostril. There we go. That's not that weak. Let's give him a smaller nostril. There. Oh yeah, yeah. Now we're talking. All right, now this guy, he's got a higher head, so his nose is going to be bunched up. Let's give him too big, too soft. Oh, let's give this guy the button nose. Digging it. All right. Now this guy, he could have a soft nose. I like that. Although, let's see, how's that going to look? I'm exploring. And then he's got that makes him look too old. So let's change it. He could have like a like a phallus nose, you know. Hey there, meaty arm. That kind of thing. No, that makes him look too old again. So yeah, like that kind of nose. Good. I like it. All right. So remember, you just want to be thinking about shapes and keeping yourself open. If I was thinking about these as basic shapes, this is kind of like a circle. This is kind of like a triangle. This is like a couple of shapes together. There's a couple of tiny circles and then a bigger circle. This is actually more like a circle too, or like, you know, like a cylinder kind of thing. So you can still use those basic shapes. They're still in here, you know, the ears and all that stuff. These are all shapes that are basic shapes. You got a boxy little nose here, or a kind of a triangle. You get circles here. So just use those shapes, but use them loosely, right? Okay, so now we got 4 different face types based on this basic face type. Working even smaller, let's think. The whole time what's going to influence us is scared hippie. So, you know, we want him to have like, kind of like, you know, he's afraid, he's like nervous, you know, he's like, oh, what's going to happen? So we don't want him to look confident. So I'm going to do like things like little eyebrows, little afraid look. Maybe here I can give him bushy eyebrows, but like concerned. You know, maybe he's got, and how do you do a concerned bushy eyebrow? I don't know, you know, just play with it. I think, you know what? I think instead of like the Gandalf brow, which is like big and imposing, right? That doesn't look concerned. He's too powerful. Too powerful because of his eyebrows. I think it's like you have like the little dot eyebrow, right? So like you have like one of like these eyebrows. Like, you know, some people have those. They're just like, the whole eyebrow is just like wispy, and then there's just like one dot where they got all their hairs are. I like that. See, now he looks concerned. Oh, what's happening? Although he also doesn't really look 20, but we'll work on that. This guy too could look old really easily, so I got to be careful. Let's just give him like a straight pencil. Love it. He already kind of looks nervous. Okay, so now we know that he's going to have a beard, but let's give him different kinds of beards. So we kind of have like a little goatee mustache thing going here. Here, let's give him like a full mustache. And then he'll kind of have like a little nervous tiny mouth. And then so you could do so much with this. So there's a little beard, like that's kind of cool, right? Oh, there's a little one. Or you could do like a little one down here, like he could have this kind of beard. I kind of like that actually. You know, he could have a full beard. Nothing wrong with that. and just kind of have it come up like that. That one's not bad, but I kind of like, I don't know, I kind of like this one. So let's give him like a little beard here, and let's connect it up to his stash. Should we? Yeah. Connect it to his stash, and then here we go. There. That's like just a little guy. So I kind of like that. But the fun thing is this is really open, and you just kind of draw what feels right. And if it doesn't feel right, then erase it and draw more stuff. Okay, so here, let's see. Let's give him a little mustache. Love it. Okay, and a little lip, and there we go. Oh, got it. Okay, and then let's give him like a little soul patch. That's cool. I like it. Let's do it. All right, cool. And the best part about this is like characters, like if you ever listen to interviews with writers or read the writing of writers, you know that a lot of writers will say like that when they're looking for a character, they have to find them. And there's, you know, some writers who even don't know where the story's going while they're writing because they have to find them. And if you've never done this before, that'll sound weird. But if you've done it before, you'll know that that's totally not weird. It happens. It's kind of got a Colonel Sanders thing going on. You know, you find stuff while you're going because it's like you can't just sit and think this stuff out. You have to move your hands to like get ideas, right? A lot of ideas come from the work, not from sitting and thinking on them. You know, you got to do both. But all right, so this guy, he's already kind of got his little. I like his chin. All right, so let's give him a wide but extraordinarily thin mustache. Like, yes, I love it. And then for his beard, let's see if we can get away with like a short one like that. What do you think? You like it? Is it good? Is it bad? I think it's okay. But yeah, I don't hate it. Let's give it like a let's give it like a cleaner design. There we go. And then now, so his beard's behind that, you know, or sorry, his chin is behind the beard, so we can just erase that out. Okay, cool. So I kind of like this. So some of these, you know, look a little bit older than the 24 that we said. So, you know, we'd have to adjust that. And there's a lot of ways to do that. Like, you know, just moving a little line here, like on the jawline or something like that can really change someone's age. If they've got a line like on their nose, that'll change their age. If you put like a crinkle behind their eye, that'll change their age. Like that'll change their age. It's just like, it's a really subtle thing. So don't worry about it too much. Like get what you want first and then adjust it. Like for these ones, like drawing the cheeks in here, like here and here, this one here and this one here. I think that what we'd want to do is probably, you know, like dial this back. If we want to get him back to kind of 24, maybe take some of that out. Maybe take it all out, right? So yeah, take half of it out. All right, so then the last thing is, of course, he's got an eyes and a haircut, and so let's think about this. Like it's, again, usually you have a drawing style, so this is already kind of set, but like there's a lot of ways to draw eyes. So I'm just gonna draw a couple just kind of at random, because there's no set design here. There's no set brief. There's no world he's in, or there's no other characters he's going with. So I have like full autonomy to do whatever I want. Something a little bit more realistic, something a little bit more Calvin Hobbes or Tintin or whatever. Something a little bit more, you know, classic cartoon with circles. Well, that kind of, yeah, there we go. Let's see, let's do that. There we go. And then maybe, there we go. And what's his eye color, blah, 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 blah. All that stuff you can decide as you go. Okay, and then let's do something like, what should we do? I don't know, you know, you could go like Invader Zim or whatever. Like, there's no rules here. All right, so there. So there's the exact same head as the base for 4 totally unique heads. And the reason that I break it out from here is now you can see it's pretty obvious. Like, you really got to treat this like its own character, and each of the things in its face, they are also affected by that personality. but you still, there's so many things that you can do. You can explore, and then while you're drawing a character, you might think of another character, because maybe these won't work with this character, and then you'll find one that's like, oh, this could be like his dad, or a scientist. Now, again, a huge part of age is actually also a haircut. So the last thing we need to do is give this guy a hippie cut. So there's a bunch of ways we could do it. With this one, I think we're gonna give him like a long, kind of long hair thing, like a little Jesus kind of a look. And you can see, already, like, I'm sort of choosing the style of the drawing as well. But it's up to you. That's just, use whatever you're comfortable with, or your drawing style, or what have you. So I kind of like, there, I'm just gonna give him like a Jesus. This guy, he's already looking like Colonel Sanders, so I don't want him to look like Colonel Sanders. So I'm like, okay, well, he'll have like a hair that comes over here, and then maybe I can do like a Kurt Cobain kind of thing, or like, I'm just gonna give him longer hair because I don't want him to look like Colonel Sanders. And that looks good. Here we go. All right, cool. And then, of course, like, a lot of this is going to have to do with, like, if you're animating, you're going to be wanting to pick simpler shapes for animation. If you're doing a game, that's going to do something to your art style. Like, of course, like, a lot of that's going to be affected by what you're drawing this for. And if you have any questions about that, put them in the comments. So, okay, so let's give these guys a couple of different cuts. Let's give this guy more of, like, just like a normal cut with, like, a part, and not going to worry too much about his, there we go, done that. And he's just got a little junk down here. He's not full-blown hippie. Then this guy, I don't know, let's see what we can do. Let's come in here and give him like a kind of a long, there we go. I don't know, I'm not convinced yet. It makes him look younger, but it's okay. It's okay. What about if we let's do this. Okay, I've got it. So we'll give him a cut like this, right? But then he's gonna have this thing where it comes out, and he's got long hair. Just got full on, like, boom. He's got like the long ratty hair down here. Now, you could come up with some other cool ideas, like dreads and stuff like that. I'm sure that you can come up with some cool ideas. Don't disappoint me. But anyway, here's an idea for this. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to think, like, you can see I'm noodling a little bit too much with this guy, but I'm not convinced by him yet. But I know there's something out there that'll work for him. Okay, so now you can see that we can actually just decide on one of these, like, which looks the most nervous. Right now it's probably this guy or this guy, and I think both of them would work. So let's just try it out. And we're coming up on time here, so I want to move on to the next video. So copy, paste. Okay, boom. So let's check it. Did we do a good job? Let's find out. Okay, so snap. That's still too big. Now it's pretty good. I don't know, guys. I kind of dig this one. So he's like, what do you think? Is it decent? I think it's pretty decent. Let's get rid of that. Pretty good. Kind of dig that. So here's our kind of scaredy cat hippie. I think this is a pretty decent job. I think I'm going to go with this one. And when we come back in the next video, we're going to look at fleshing this guy out with even more details and posing him out. So thanks for sticking with me. This was a little bit more of a long one. This is yamsketch, and we're going to take a look at how to bring this character to the next level, and start to think about, what kind of poses this character is going to work with, and so on. Also, we got to put him in flannels, man.
Yamsketch.